I'd like to talk to you about Proverbs 18:14 this morning. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? So, my question is, who can bear a wounded spirit? Nobody. So that's why we have to be so careful to protect the spirit of our children. I had a lady ask me a question about she's living in a situation where the person that she's living with has got a bad spirit, and that person will put down her and the children, and it's just really affecting her, you know. And she says bad things about her in the church, etc. At least she feels all that. Well, my only thing I said to her was, I would not stay in a situation for long periods of time where somebody is hurting the spirit of my children. And the reason why I wouldn't is because of Proverbs 18:14. Now, some of you ladies are saying, well, that means I have to leave my husband. No, I'm not saying that. You know, you need to get help. You and your husband need to get help from your pastor. But I'm saying, though, that we need to do everything we can to keep our children from having wounded spirits. That's what our job is. That's what you as a mother, you're responsible for. So, as I thought of that, I thought of these three things that I practiced when I was around people that I felt were troubled people, or maybe they were a little harsh, or maybe they were people that had different philosophies than me in how they talk to children. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to give these three thoughts to you real quickly this morning, and maybe it might help you as you know the spring breaks are coming. Maybe you're going to go visit relatives or you're going to be around people. I thought maybe it would help you. Number one, I did not allow myself to be separated from the children and the people that I thought had a harsh or troubled spirit. Pretty good thinking, wasn't it? Now, this hindered me a lot. This means that I didn't go out and party. I didn't go somewhere to party. I went there to help supervise my children. And I wanted to monitor the correction that my children received. Now, you got to be very careful, ladies, that you're not being overprotective. But you can become a mama bear whenever somebody's correcting your child and you want to jump to their defense. You know, maybe sometimes you just want to smack them across the face. I've been there. I've been there. But to prevent either of these, you be there all the time that person is around your child. Number two, with that in mind, I tried to prevent issues by being mindful of the person's rules for the home. You know, let them have their standards and you abide by them while you're there. For instance, if you're at a person's house that doesn't want a toddler to walk around with a cookie in their hand, they only want them to eat them in a high chair or at the table, go by that. You know, I know when I had children at home, sometimes eating a cookie would give me a 5-minute break. So I'd hand them a cookie and let them go do what they wanted to do so I could have 5 minutes to myself. You know, they're busy eating the cookie, you know, exploiting, sometimes tearing it up. And then I would get the vacuum out and clean it up. But that's not the time that you're supposed to do that when you're with other people. You go by the rules of the house. Number three, if something happened while they were outside of my care with another adult, you know, maybe I stepped out of the room. You know, you have to go to the restroom sometimes. Then you always side with the adult. This is important because the child can't have selective respect for authority. And so you side with the adult, you choke down, you know, because you disagree so strongly, but you choke it down and allow the injustice rather than break down the spirit of respect for that child. If the child is a little older, later on you could have a little talk with them and they could explain what happened, and then you could side with them and say, you know what, I can see your point, but do you know that this person feels this way and this is their point of view? Because I think that's part of injustice, is getting us to see the other person's perspective. You know, but anyway, it's not good for the child to feel like that you're against them. But when they're real little, just let it go and let the injustice happen and just realize you got to stay closer. Hope these few thoughts will help you to not have your child have a wounded spirit. It's your job, ladies. Keep on top of it and rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice.